My name's Ethan Braid. Today we're going to talk about the housing market. I don't know about you, but I just can't take this nonsense anymore. We've all been listening to lies, and that's what they are, lies, for years now about how there just aren't enough homes in America. We haven't built enough homes. We don't have enough homes. I have found a way to quantify how that statement that we keep hearing about not enough homes in America is entirely untrue. So stay with me on this video and I will show you how what we're being told is completely different from what the reality really is. So let's begin our analysis by taking a look at the national inventory of homes for sale. We can see that over the last 8 years, the amount of homes for sale has steadily deteriorated, and we're currently at 1 million homes for sale, far below the long-term average of 2.2 million homes for sale. We hear all the time in the media that the reason why there are so few homes for sale is because we've just underbuilt. We haven't built enough homes. But let me show you why I believe that is not the truth and why I believe that there are other forces that have resulted in this shortage of homes for sale. I believe that the reason why there are so few homes for sale is because of the cumulative effect of pensions, hedge funds, private equity, REITs, and individual investors. People have purchased so many homes who didn't ordinarily buy homes as investments to the tune of millions and millions of homes over the last 8 to 10 years. And they are the reason why there are so few homes for sale, coupled with extremely, extremely cheap debt. So you had corporations that were able to borrow tremendous amounts of money and then go purchase homes for very low prices in past years and make a great return by renting them out. Now, thankfully, interest rates have come up and the investor activity has slowed way down. But the reason why the homes or the inventory of homes is so low is not because we haven't built enough homes or that there aren't enough homes, right? Who believes that? It's because investors in aggregate have bought them up at a furious pace. Let's take a look at some of this a little bit deeper. Here's the graph that every housing bull likes to point to and cite as a reason why we're going to be perpetually with low inventory of homes for sale and prices are only going to go up and up and up. All of the housing bulls love this graph. This is a look at housing starts over a long period of time, going back to the late 1950s. And everyone likes to cite this time frame right here and say, well, we just didn't build enough homes around 2008, 9, and 10. And as a result, we're going to be undersupplied for housing forever. And prices are just going to go up and up and up. All the people drinking that Kool-Aid are people who have a vested interest in house prices just going higher forever and keeping everyone they can as a modern day serf, a tenant renting from them. But you know what it sounds like? It reminds me of the year 99 and 2000 when I was listening to all of the tech bulls in the .com era, right? When that bubble blew up, so many people were just totally caught off guard. And when it started to roll over, I remember all of the people, all the new paradigm believers who were just astonished, like, no, it's going to turn around. It's going to come back. So many people bought into that nonsense. And this is worse. This housing bubble that we're in right now is so much worse, I think, than the tech bubble of the late 1990s because it affects everybody and it's greed gone wild. I have never in 25 years in my entire career of managing money and working in the wealth management industry, I have never seen so many people so greedy, so many people so excited to put their boot on the throat of fellow citizens. And just the idea that it's so exciting for so many people that they could just hold people hostage forever. Well, there's not enough homes, and so I got to be a landlord and I can raise the rent. It's just so awesome. No. This is not good, but let's keep going with the analysis and I'm going to show you why it's probably going to fall apart. And also there's a lot of smoke and mirrors going on here. Here's a look at the interest rate for the 30-year mortgage. Recall that about 8 years ago, the inventory of for sale homes started to decline. It's not a coincidence that that happened while interest rates were ridiculously low. Those ridiculously low interest rates allowed stuff like this to happen. What we're looking at here is an article from 2021 about the Texas teacher retirement system. Back in 2021, they formed a joint venture with Tricon Residential for $5 billion to buy more than 18,000 rental houses. Incredible number of homes that they're purchasing. And what's really intriguing, look here, we're committing $1.4 billion of initial equity. They're going to use debt to buy homes, and the homes are going to cost roughly $250,000. Does that sound like a starter home to you? Now, doesn't that seem odd to you? A pension plan, Texas Teachers Retirement System, going out and buying 18,000 single-family standalone homes, starter homes. In a way, you have to think that that's pricing out a number of probably teachers out of the market, because here comes the pension. And oh, by the way, notice that they're using debt in addition to the equity payment. And whenever you hear this nonsense about all the cash buyers out there, know that there is debt at the corporate level. Companies like Invitation Homes have $9 billion of debt that they use to go and buy single-family homes, over 80,000 of them, in fact. Or American Homes for Rent. They own about 60,000 homes and have about $5 billion of debt. So I just love it when I hear this nonsense about, oh, there's all these cash buyers. What, did suddenly everybody got rich? I mean, look around at all the people in your circle and do your own informal poll. Do you know a lot of people who are instantly rich and can just go pay cash for homes? It's not like suddenly everybody got rich, okay? I think it's all nonsense, and many people have fallen for it, this myth of this cash buyer, or that there aren't enough homes. There aren't enough homes because investors have been buying them all. I mentioned Invitation Homes, so let's take a look at some of their home ownership. I'm going to highlight Denver, Colorado, where I live. In Denver, Invitation Homes owns 2,670 homes. You know what? There are only about 4,000 homes for sale in Denver. Now think about this for a minute. You have one company, Invitation Homes, that owns more than 50% of the current available for sale inventory. And oh, by the way, here's another company. This is American Homes for Rent. They operate in Denver, and they have 842 homes. Just two corporations own the equivalent of 88% of the available for sale inventory in a major city like Denver, Colorado. That's wild stuff. Now, think about all the other corporations and private equity groups and hedge funds and pensions that own thousands and thousands of homes in Denver, Colorado. There are only 4,000 homes for sale, and yet you have so many investors. This has built up over the last 8 to 10 years of basically free money. Cheap interest rates caused this. It was a huge contributing factor to this major price inflation. And it's not because we didn't build enough homes. That's totally bogus, complete nonsense. It's the fact that investors have swooped in and bought up so many homes that has led to this problem. Here's an important graph that will help dispel the myth that we didn't build enough homes or we don't have enough homes in America. What we're looking at here is a graph of multifamily units under construction, i.e. apartments. And what we can clearly see is that with 1 million units under construction, we are at the highest level at any time since the early 1970s. We have a tremendous amount of construction going on for apartments. Remember, this is the graph, housing starts, that housing bulls love to point to and say, we just didn't build enough homes. Therefore, home prices are going to go up and up and up. But if you add the number of houses under construction with this insane amount of apartments, what do you see? We have a tremendous amount of housing under construction right now, 2.3 million plus units, in fact. And what I believe is that instead of building single family homes, we just started building apartments because so many corporations are just so excited to be landlords and charge rent and keep getting rent increases, i.e. inflate the rent on all the people that rent from them, and they think it's going to be free lunch forever. Now, this video was not meant to be political, okay? I believe in free markets, and I think there's nothing wrong with corporations going out and buying single-family homes if they want to. But it is setting the stage for some type of major meltdown, I believe, because you have so many people, teachers, pension plans, are now single-family landlords. You have so many people that are landlords who have never been landlords before. And what happens when it's just not fun to be a landlord because we're in recession and the tenants don't pay? Okay, now there's another force coming in the years ahead, and that is baby boomers. Unfortunately, the baby boom generation is going to start to pass away. And when they do, there are going to be incredible numbers of homes coming up for sale. There has to be some end to corporations being landlords. You can't make the entire nation a bunch of tenants, right? So whenever landlords, corporate landlords, get scared and start selling in big numbers, wow, we're going to see a lot of price deflation on housing, and the whole apple cart is going to get turned upside down. Again, it reminds me of the year 2000 and to some degree 2008. Back in 2000, so many people just couldn't get enough of the tech mania. So this is 2000 all over again. It's just a different asset class. It just so happens to be real estate, and everybody's drinking that Kool-Aid. Everybody believes that they can just make money forever. There's just no way to lose. It's astonishing to me to see so much herd behavior, so much groupthink, but that's what's going on. So let's sum it all up. The housing bull narrative is that there aren't enough homes and we haven't built enough homes, and so we're going to be overpriced and have rent and house inflation forever. But the reality is that we have over 2.3 million units under construction right now, which is a lot by historical standards. It's just that a million or so of those units happen to be multifamily apartments. And a lot of the housing that's being built, by the way, is single-family homes for rent. So we have plenty of construction and plenty of homes. It's just that corporations, pensions, which is crazy, insurance companies, private equity groups, hedge funds, REITs, everybody's in the game. And you know they're guilty when a company like Blackstone, who owns all kinds of single-family homes, they have some propaganda piece out there trying to dispel the idea that they're influencing the housing market in any negative way. Well, there is no one company and so their propaganda piece is somewhat true. It is true that they're not solely responsible, but when you aggregate all of the companies who are in a feeding frenzy or who have been in a feeding frenzy for years because the Fed irresponsibly had interest rates way too low, they bought up all the homes. Okay, now let's talk about the cash buyer myth. We've dispelled that too. There's tremendous amounts of debt at the corporate level that has been dispersed at the retail level, the local level, and then every realtor that sees these cash transactions thinks, oh my God, everybody's rich. No, everybody's not rich. All right. Again, do your own informal poll. How many people do you personally know who are just instantly wealthy and have all this extra cash to go and buy homes? Now, PPP, by the way, there's another contributing factor to the mess that we're in. But at the end of the day, no, everybody isn't suddenly rich. Take a look at mortgage debt. It's building and building. We're at all-time highs for mortgage debt. And it's debt at the corporate level that most people aren't aware of that's been used to go and buy all these single-family homes for cash. Okay, so we covered a lot of ground. You may or may not agree with me, but I hope this video was helpful. I hope it gets you thinking about your finances and overall improve your family's financial plan.